Hey guys, tonight we're pulling an all-nighter on the graveyard shift. Rain taps the squad car windows like impatient fingers, the wipers smearing neon across the windshield in slow, hypnotic arcs. The radio hums with that low static you only notice when everything else is silent, and somewhere down a side street, a single boot heel clicks against wet asphalt. Then nothing. You probably won't make it to dawn after this one. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Drop your city and the exact time you're listening in the comments. I read every one, and sometimes the replies feel like company on nights like this. Now, dim the lights, maybe crack open a window for that midnight fog, and let's hit the streets together. I'm rolling slow through the warehouse district, headlights carving tunnels in the haze. Dispatch has been quiet for an hour, which never feels right. The city's shift change happened at 2300. Most uniforms are grabbing coffee or filing reports, leaving the 0200 to 0400 stretch to guys like me who drew the short straw. My call sign is 2, Adam, 12, but tonight the handle feels heavier, like the numbers themselves are waterlogged. I flick the dome light on just long enough to check the duty roster clipped to the visor. My name, Ramirez, inked in blue, the only living thing on the page. The radio crackles. Not the usual clipped voice of Sergeant Hayes, but a whisper, thin as cigarette smoke. Unit, near the cannery, eyes on. Then it's gone, swallowed by static. I thumb the mic. Dispatch, say again. Nothing. Hayes would have barked back with coordinates or sarcasm. Instead, the channel breathes. I ease the cruiser to the curb outside Pier 19, engine ticking as it cools. The cannery's been condemned since the '98 flood. Chain link fence peeled back like skin, windows blacked out with plywood. Standard urban explorer bait, but the whisper felt personal. Curiosity nudges me out of the car. Boots splash through puddles that reflect the moon in fractured coins. My mag light slices the fog, catching graffiti that wasn't here last week. Fresh red drips spelling, they count the hours. I chalk it up to kids with too much time and not enough supervision. Procedure says I log the tag, snap a photo, move on. I do. But the beam lingers on a side door hanging open just enough for a body to slip through. Against every instinct drilled into me at the academy, I push inside. The air smells of rust and brine. Conveyor belts sag like broken spines. Fish scales still glitter on the floor after 25 years. My flashlight finds a trail of wet prints leading deeper, bare feet, small, maybe a child's. I follow because that's what we do. We follow. The prints stop at a rusted scale the size of a coffin lid. Someone has balanced a single Polaroid on the pan. I lift it carefully by the edges. The photo shows the exact spot I'm standing in, taken seconds ago, my own silhouette frozen mid-step, flashlight beam cutting the dark. But in the picture, there's a second light behind me, pale and steady, coming from no source I can see. I spin. Empty. Just the echo of my pulse in my ears. The radio on my shoulder hisses again, clearer now, almost conversational. Closer, officer, closer. The voice is female, young, familiar in a way that scrapes the back of my skull. I rack my memory for open missing persons cases, none match. I thumb the mic again, request backup, but the channel is dead air. The Polaroid trembles in my gloved fingers. The image is already fading, my silhouette dissolving into gray. Fear arrives polite, tapping my shoulder. I backtrack fast, boots skidding on scales. Outside, the fog has thickened to soup. The cruiser's roof lights pulse red-blue, though I never flipped the switch. I slide behind the wheel, slam the door, and the locks engage on their own. The dashboard clock reads 2:13. It hasn't moved since I entered the cannery. I smack it, nothing. The engine turns over on the third try, and I peel out, tires spitting gravel. In the rearview mirror, The cannery door swings shut by itself. And for a heartbeat, the mirror shows the passenger seat occupied. A girl, maybe 10, soaked nightgown clinging to bone, eyes milky but fixed on me. Then the mirror blanks, just vinyl and stale fast food wrappers. I don't look again until I'm 3 blocks away, parked under a functioning street lamp. My hands shake so badly I can't key the mic. I force a breath, log the incident as suspicious activity, no contact, standard CYA. But the Polaroid is still in my pocket, now completely white, as if the image was never there. I think some crimes were never meant to be solved. Some calls aren't meant to be answered. Yet here I am, circling back toward the precinct because the night is young and the radio just whispered my badge number like a lullaby. The static is singing now, low and sweet, threading through the rain. I roll the window down an inch. The fog smells like the inside of a mouth. Somewhere ahead, another set of wet footprints waits to be followed. I'm back on the boulevard, doing 30 in a 45, letting the engine idle loud enough to drown the static. The wipers keep their metronome, smearing the city into watercolor. My pulse is still jackhammering from the cannery, but procedure is procedure. I radio in code 4, resuming patrol, voice steady even if my knuckles are white on the wheel. Dispatch finally answers. Hayes, gruff, asking if I need a welfare check. I tell him negative, just a prank call. He buys it. He's got his own ghost tonight. The Polaroid is a blank square in my breast pocket, but it feels heavier than the Glock on my hip. I fish it out at a red light, hold it to the dome light. Nothing. Not even chemical residue. I slide it into the glove box with the spare cuffs and the half-eaten burrito I forgot about 3 shifts ago. The light turns green. I roll. That's when the rearview mirror lies. At first it's a trick of the strobes, red, blue, painting the vinyl seat in carnival colors. Then the colors settle, and there's a shape. Not a reflection. A presence. The girl from the mirror at the cannery, but closer now, knees drawn to chest, nightgown dripping on my upholstery though the fabric stays dry. Her head is tilted, listening to something I can't hear. I slam the brakes. Tires chirp. The intersection is empty. No cross traffic, no witnesses. I twist in the seat, mag light ready. The back is clear. Fast food bags, citation book, the spare vest I keep meaning to clean. Empty. I face forward. She's still there in the mirror, but now her mouth moves. No sound reaches me, just the shape of my name. Ramirez, formed by blue lips. The temperature in the cruiser drops 20 degrees. My breath fogs the windshield. I crank the heater. Nothing. The radio chooses that second to wake up, but it's not Hayes. It's a child's voice, sing-song, counting. 1 for the badge, 2 for the gun, 3 for the mirror where the night's begun. I kill the engine, step out into the street. Rain needles my face. I circle the car, flashlight sweeping undercarriage, trunk, wool wells. No footprints in the puddles, no condensation inside the windows. I pop the back door, still empty. Yet when I slide behind the wheel again, the seatbelt on the passenger side is buckled. It wasn't before. Curiosity is a bad habit. Fear is the only honest one left. I drive with the window cracked, letting the city's breath in. The girl doesn't reappear, but the mirror stays fogged in the shape of a small handprint, palm open, fingers splayed. I wipe it with my sleeve. The print returns slower, like it's seeping through the glass. I need a realistic anchor, something to tether me. I pull into the 24-hour Quick Mart on 8th and MLK, same place Officer Delgado got shot in '09 during a robbery that never solved. The neon open sign flickers. The clerk, Marisol, knows every cop by coffee order. I badge the door, ask for the security feed just in case. She pours me a large, no charge, eyes flicking to my shaking hands. The footage shows my cruiser idling outside for 90 seconds, brake lights glowing, but the rear seat stays dark. No girl, no handprint, Just me staring at my own reflection like it owes me money. Marisol asks if I'm okay. I lie and say yes. She slides a free honey bun across the counter. Cops eat free after midnight. Precinct tradition since the shooting. I take it, but the sweetness sticks in my throat. On the way out, I notice the mirror in the convex security bubble above the door. For a frame, the girl stands behind me, head on my shoulder like we're posing for a family photo. I whirl. The store is empty except for Marisol humming to the radio. Back in the cruiser, I log the stop as routine business check. The handprint is gone, but the seat belt stays buckled. I reach over, unclip it. The nylon sighs like it's relieved. The radio crackles again. Same child voice, closer, intimate. Seatbelt safety, officer. Click it or ticket. Then laughter, high and brittle, before the channel dies. Fear graduates to something colder. I think of the academy instructor who drilled mirror discipline into us. Check 6, check mirrors, check your pulse, because the job will take all 3. I thought he was being dramatic. Tonight he feels prophetic. I'm 3 miles from the precinct when the dome light flickers on by itself. In the passenger footwell lies a child's plastic badge, blue, star-shaped, the kind they hand out at school safety fairs. Mine, from 1998, the year I decided to become a cop. I haven't seen it since my mother's house burned. The plastic is warm. Engraved on the back in shaky kid scrawl. Ramirez, keep them safe. I pull over under the overpass, hazards blinking. The badge goes into the evidence pouch I keep in the door. Chain of custody, even for ghosts. The rain eases to mist. The city holds its breath. In the rear view, the girl is gone, but the seatbelt buckles itself again, slow and deliberate. Click. Revelation tastes like copper. Whatever this is, it knows my history better than I do. And it's riding shotgun now, whether I see it or not. I ease back onto the street, headlights cutting twin tunnels through the fog. The radio stays silent, but the static underneath has a rhythm. My heartbeat, maybe, or hers. I think some crimes were never meant to be solved. Some passengers never get out. The precinct basement is waiting with its humming fluorescents and stacks of cold cases, and I still have 5 hours until sunrise. The precinct squats on 4th and Calder like a tired concrete toad, windows glowing sickly yellow against the fog. I badge through the side door at 3:47, boots leaving wet prints on the linoleum that someone will curse me for tomorrow. The bullpen is empty except for the vending machine humming its eternal B-flat, and the night janitor, Luis, pushing a mop in slow circles. He nods. I nod back. No words. Cops on Graveyard learn to speak in glances. I need the basement. The cold case vault lives 2 floors down, past the armory and the holding cells that still smell like bleach and regret. The elevator is out, always is after midnight, so I take the stairwell. The steps are metal grate. Every footfall echoes like gunfire in a tin can. My maglite picks out graffiti from generations of bored rookies. Kilroy was here, class of '05, and lower down. A fresh tag in red sharpener. The files breathe. The basement door sticks. I shoulder it open and the air hits me. Paper rot, ozone, and something metallic like blood left too long in a drain. Rows of steel shelves stretch into the dark, each labeled with decades. I know the layout by heart. Left for homicides, right for missings, center aisle for the ones nobody claims. My boot sticks slightly. Someone spilled coffee last week and never cleaned it. Curiosity is a drug. I'm chasing the high. I head for the 1998 missings, same year as my plastic badge. The box I want is labeled juvenile/cannery district/unsolved. It's not on the shelf. I sweep the beam across the floor. There, the carton sits in the middle of the aisle, lid askew, as if it walked itself out. I crouch. Inside, manila folders are fanned like playing cards. The top one has my handwriting from when I was a rookie. Ramirez, R. Initial review. I never worked juveniles. I was patrol, not detective. I lift the folder. It's warm. Pages rustle without wind. The top sheet is a missing persons report. Elena Vasquez, age 10, last seen Pier 19 Cannery, October 3rd, 1998. The photo clipped to the corner is the girl from my mirror. Nightgown, bare feet, eyes already milky in the grainy print. Under reporting officer, someone has typed my badge number in fresh ink. I filed my first report in 2005. The lights flicker. Not the usual brownout stutter, deliberate, like a code. 3 short, 3 long, 3 short. SOS. I glance up. The security camera in the corner swivels toward me, red eye blinking. I wave. It doesn't wave back. Instead, the folder in my hand grows heavier, pages multiplying. I flip faster. New documents appear. Crime scene photos of the cannery scale, the Polaroid I thought I lost, a Polaroid of me holding the Polaroid, recursive, impossible. The latest edition is a single sheet dated tonight, 3:47, timestamped to the second I opened the basement door. It reads, Officer Ramirez returns what was borrowed. Fear tastes like pennies. I drop the folder. It lands open to a page I don't remember. A child's drawing in crayon. Stick figure cop with a star badge. Stick figure girl holding his hand, both standing on the scale. The girl has written beneath in blocky letters, "Thank you for finding me." The overhead fluorescence die. Pitch black. My mag light chooses this moment to gutter. I smack it. Once, twice. Beam stutters back. The carton is gone. In its place, a perfect circle of salt on the concrete, still pouring from nowhere, forming a slow spiral. I step back. My heel crunches on something. My plastic badge, cracked down the middle, the word safe now reading safe. A realistic anchor. Precinct inventory logs every box by barcode. I pull the tablet from my belt, scan the shelf. The system says box 98, JUV. 19 was checked out October 3rd, 1998, never returned. By me. My login. My password. The one I created in 2005. The tablet screen flickers. A new line types itself. Return to sender. Then the battery icon drains to 0 in 1 heartbeat. Dead. I backpedal. The salt spiral is complete, 6 feet across. In the center lies a single evidence bag, sealed, labeled Elena Vasquez, personal effects. Inside, a child's nightgown, still damp. I never bagged evidence in '98. I was 12 miles away, failing algebra. The stairwell door creaks, open upstairs. Footsteps descend, small, bare, deliberate. Splash, splash, splash on the metal grate. I draw my sidearm, though bullets feel suddenly childish. The footsteps stop at the landing. Silence pulls. I shine the light up the stairs. Nothing. But the basement door eases shut on its own, latch clicking like a tongue. The temperature plummets. My breath crystallizes. Frost feathers across the steel shelves. The salt circle steams, then ices over. Revelation arrives whispering. The missing girl isn't haunting me. She's been waiting for me to finish the paperwork. I holster the Glock, kneel, and open the evidence bag. The nightgown smells of brine and little girl soap. Folded inside is a second plastic badge, identical to mine, but intact. Engraved on the back, Elena, keep him safe. I pin it to my vest, opposite my real one. The frost retreats. The carton reappears on the shelf, lid closed, barcode pristine. The tablet reboots, shows the box logged back in at 4:12. My login. My password. I think some crimes were never meant to be solved. Some are just paperwork the dead refuse to file. The footsteps don't resume. The salt is gone, leaving only the faint smell of the sea. I climb the stairs slower than I descended, each step heavier, the 2 badges clicking softly together like wind chimes made of bone. At the top, Luis is mopping the same spot, humming. He looks up, frowns. You okay, Ramirez? You look like you seen your own ghost. I manage a smile, tell him I'm fine. He shrugs, keeps mopping. The floor is dry where my wet prints were. Back in the bullpen, the vending machine spits out a free coffee. My usual, black, 2 sugars. I didn't punch the buttons. The cup is warm. On the side, someone has drawn a tiny star in Sharpie. I drink it anyway. The radio on my shoulder crackles once, soft as a sigh. Thank you, officer. Then silence. Not static. True silence. The kind that follows a door closing forever. I'm back in the cruiser by 4:30, engine growling low like it knows the shift's gone sideways. The 2 plastic badges ride my chest. Mine cracked, Elena's whole, clicking each time I breathe. The city feels smaller now, streets folding in on themselves. I take the loop around Old Town, past the pawn shops and the mission that feeds the homeless at dawn. My plan is simple. 1 more sweep, then clock out at 6 o'clock, file the weirdness under fatigue, and hope the lieutenant buys it. But the radio has other ideas. It wakes with a click, no call sign, just a voice I recognize. Mine, from earlier tonight. Unit near the cannery. Eyes on. Exactly the whisper that dragged me into this. Only now it's coming from inside the car, not dispatch. The dash clock freezes at 4:44. I smack it. No change. The voice loops. Unit near the cannery. I kill the power, but the words keep playing through the dead speakers, tinny and distant, like a tape left in the rain. Curiosity is a leash. I'm the dog that keeps walking. I turn toward the riverfront, where the alley behind the cannery feeds into a warren of brick corridors locals call the maze. Urban legend says it was laid out by a drunk surveyor in 1892. Streets that dead end into themselves, angles that don't add up. Cops hate it, perps love it. I've chased suspects in there and come out on the wrong side of town with no memory of the turns. Tonight the fog pours down the throat of the maze like milk. I nose the cruiser to the mouth of the alley, headlights off, running dark. Procedure says call for backup before entering a foot pursuit zone. I thumb the mic, dead. The looped recording of my own voice is the only sound. I step out. The alley smells of wet cardboard and piss. My boots crunch on broken glass. 20 feet in, the brick walls lean closer, graffiti bleeding fresh. Same night, same fight. A shadow detaches from the corner ahead, small, barefoot, nightgown flapping though there's no wind. Elena. She doesn't look back, just walks. I follow because that's what the night has trained me to do. The alley narrows. My shoulders brush both walls. The radio on my belt crackles alive again, but it's not my voice now. It's a suspect I collared last year, Tommy Ruiz, drunk and disorderly. Let me go. Man, I didn't do nothing. Exact words from the arrest. Then Elena's voice overlays. He's lying. Officer. Keep up. I draw the mag light. The beam catches her 10 yards ahead, but the light bends wrong, stretching her shadow into a giant that climbs the wall and keeps climbing. She turns a corner that shouldn't exist, left where only right is mapped. I follow. The alley spits me out into the same mouth I entered. Cruiser idling, hazards blinking though I never turned them on. The dash clock still reads 4:44. I try again. Same result. Third time, I mark the wall with my knife, our plus time. I carve 4:45. I walk. I return. The mark is there, but the time scratched beneath it reads 4:44. The loop is tightening. Fear tastes like rust. I holster the knife, draw the Glock. Not for shooting, for weight. Something to remind my hand it's still mine. Elena appears again, closer, 10 feet. She raises a hand, points deeper into the maze. Her mouth moves. He's waiting. I ask who. No sound, just the shape of the word. I step forward. The alley stretches, bricks rippling like water. My boot crosses the threshold, and the world tilts. Realistic anchor. The maze is real. In 2017, Officer Park got lost in there for 43 minutes. Body cam showed him walking straight for 6. Search team found him curled under a dumpster, uniform soaked in someone else's blood, no wounds. Case closed as stress-induced hallucination. His report is in the precinct basement, Box 17, MISC 43. I read it last year during downtime. Tonight it feels like required reading. I push deeper. The walls sweat. My flashlight dims, then flares, then dims again, like it's breathing. Elena is gone, but footprints appear ahead, small and fresh, leading to a rusted fire escape that climbs a blank wall. I climb. The metal groans. At the top is a rooftop I don't recognize. Gravel. HVAC units. The city spread below like a circuit board. But the precinct should be 2 blocks east. Instead, the skyline is wrong. Too many lights, too few. The river runs backward. A figure waits by the ledge. Male, mid-30s, hoodie up, hands in pockets. I know the silhouette. Tommy Ruiz. But Tommy's doing 18 months at county for the bar fight. I approach, weapon low. Ruiz, hands where I can see them. He turns. The face is Tommy's, but the eyes are milky, same as Elena's. He smiles with my mouth, my exact smile from the Academy yearbook. Told you I didn't do nothing, he says in my voice. Then he steps backward off the roof. I lunge, grab air. Peering over, the alley below is the maze mouth again, cruiser idling. No body, no splash, just the looped recording starting over. Unit near the cannery. Revelation is a cold hand on the back of my neck. The maze isn't a place tonight. It's a reel, replaying every chase I ever lost, every suspect who slipped the net. Elena isn't the ghost. She's the projectionist. And I'm the film. I holster the Glock, sit on the ledge. The plastic badge is warm against my chest. Elena appears beside me, legs dangling over the drop. She offers her hand. Small, cold, real. I take it. The rooftop dissolves. I'm back in the alley mouth, cruiser ticking as it cools. Dash clock, 4:46. 2 minutes gone, or 2 hours, or none. I drive out slow. The maze recedes in the rear view, bricks straightening, graffiti fading to old tags. The radio stays silent. At the stoplight, I check the evidence pouch. Inside, Tommy Ruiz's booking photo, dated today, timestamp 4:44. He's smiling my smile. I think some crimes were never meant to be solved. Some alleys only let you out when you stop running. The sky is purling toward dawn, but the fog clings like it's paid rent. I still have 2 hours on shift, and the radio just coughed up a new call. My voice, older, tired. Officer down, location unknown. I'm parked under the sodium glow of the 7th Street Bridge. Engine off. Windows cracked just enough for the river's breath to crawl in. The call, my own voice, older, ragged, repeats every 45 seconds. Officer needs assistance. Location unknown. Send help. It's not on the main channel. It's inside the cruiser's PA speaker, the one we use for crowd control, volume low but intimate, like someone whispering through the headrest. I've tried every switch. The system is dead. The voice keeps talking. Curiosity is a splinter now, working deeper. I pop the glove box, dig past the burrito corpse, and pull the handheld radio we keep for comms blackouts. I switch to the tactical frequency we only use during riots. Same voice, same message, but the GPS ping embedded in the signal places the caller at the precinct. Basement level. My skin prickles. I was just there. The salt circle is still cooling in my memory. I key the mic, dispatch. This is 2 Adam 12. Confirm any officer down call. Hayes comes back instantly, sleepy but sharp. Negative, Ramirez. You're the only unit checking in. You good? I lie and say yes. The handheld crackles again. My voice, but older, laughing now. He's lying, officer. Keep up. I drive. Not fast. The city doesn't reward speed after 5 o'clock. The streets are empty except for delivery trucks and the occasional insomniac jogger who pretends not to see the cruiser. I take the service road behind the precinct, the one that dead ends at the Sallyport gate. The gate is open. It shouldn't be. The magnetic lock logs every swipe. I checked the panel on my way out. Closed at 4:12. Now the chain is cut. Links bright where the bolt cutters kissed them. I roll through. The rear lot is a lake of fog. The precinct's loading dock a concrete island. My headlights catch movement. Someone walking the yellow grid painted for evidence vans. Small silhouette, nightgown, barefoot. Elena. She stops at the basement access door, the one that only opens from inside. She places her palm on the keypad. The lock clicks green. She vanishes downward. I park, kill the lights. The PA voice shifts pitch. Now it's Elena's, counting down, 10, 9, 8. I follow because the alternative is sitting here until sunrise pretending none of this happened. The stairwell is colder than before, frost already knitting the handrail. My boots leave prints that steam and vanish. At the bottom, the basement door stands ajar, a wedge of fluorescent light spilling out like an invitation. Realistic anchor. Every precinct radio system keeps a rolling buffer of the last 72 hours of traffic. After major incidents, we pull the wave files for review. In 2011, during a pursuit that ended in a fatal OIS, the buffer captured a call that never went out. Officer Begay requesting backup 3 minutes after he was already pronounced. The text blamed solar flare interference. The file is still in the server room, labeled anomaly _ 2011-03-14. I listened to it once on a dare. Tonight it feels like a template. I step inside. The cold case shelves are rearranged into a perfect aisle leading to the evidence cage. The chain link room, where we store seized weapons and sealed boxes. The cage door is open. Inside, a single portable radio sits on a metal table, the old Motorola brick we retired in 2009. Its screen glows soft blue. The countdown hits 0. The radio speaks with my father's voice, dead 6 years. Mijo, you left the gate open. I freeze. Dad died off duty, heart attack in the locker room. His last transmission was routine, 10 to 98, end of watch. I was first on scene. I closed his eyes. The Motorola crackles again, Elena's voice layered over his. He never clocked out. The table holds more than the radio. There's a reel-to-reel deck, ancient, the kind dispatch used before digital. A tape spins slowly. The label, handwritten, Midnight Shift, October 3rd, 1998. The night Elena vanished. I hit play. My father's voice, younger, 2, Adam, 12, show me responding to Pier 19, possible 10 to 57. Missing juvenile. That was Dad's call sign before he made sergeant. I never knew he took the cannery call. The reel keeps turning. Static, then Elena whispering. Officer Ramirez, closer. Same words that lured me tonight. Then Dad again, breathless. She's here, she's, oh God. A wet sound, like meat hitting tile. Tape ends. The Motorola lights up. Live feed. My voice, right now, from inside the cage. Dispatch. Officer down. Basement. I haven't spoken. I back away. The cage door swings shut, lock engaging with a clang. The reel-to-reel starts again, but the date on the label shifts. Today's date, 5/14. My father's voice, older somehow. Mijo, don't leave me on the air. Fear is a living thing now, coiled around my throat. I draw the Glock, though I know the math doesn't work. The radio on the table morphs, screen cracks, plastic melts, reforms into the plastic badge Elena gave me, but life-size, heavy as lead. Engraved, Ramirez SR, end of watch. I holster, approach the cage. The lock is a simple padlock, but the keyring on my belt doesn't fit. I rattle it anyway. The reel-to-reel spits out a new sound. Handcuffs clicking, my own voice reading Miranda rights to the dark. Then Elena, small and clear. You have the right to remain silent. Forever works too. The lights strobe. Not flicker, strobe, like a club I never asked to enter. Each flash shows a different year on the tape label. 1998, 2011, 2025, 1998 again. The cage bars bend inward, then snap back. The Motorola levitates, hovers at eye level. Dad's voice, gentle. Clock out, son. Shifts over. Revelation is quiet, almost kind. The radio doesn't remember. It records forward and backward, a palimpsest of every midnight call that never resolved. Elena isn't the ghost. She's the archivist. And I'm the latest entry. I reach through the bars, take the badge. It's warm, pulsing. The cage door unlocks from the inside, though no hand touches it. I step out. The reel-to-reel stops mid-sentence. The tape erases itself, brown ribbon pooling like intestines. The Motorola falls, shatters. Plastic shards spell on the floor, 10 to 42. End of shift. I think some crimes were never meant to be solved. Some radios never stop transmitting because someone is still on the other end, waiting for relief that never comes. I pin Dad's badge next to the kids. 3 now, clicking like hollow bones. The stairwell is warmer. Frost gone. At the top, the Sallyport gate is closed, chain intact. My cruiser sits where I left it, but the dash clock reads 5:42, 28 minutes unaccounted for. The PA is silent. I slide behind the wheel. The ignition turns itself. The radio, main channel, finally speaks with Hayes. 2, Adam. 12, you 10 to 8? Sunrise in 30. I key the mic. Voice steady for the first time all night. 10 to 8, dispatch. En route to last sweep. I don't tell him I'm already gone. I'm rolling the last grid, the one that circles the precinct like a slow noose. 4th to Calder to 8th to the river. Dawn is a rumor on the horizon, a bruised seam between black and less black. The 3 plastic badges ride my chest in a crooked constellation. Mine, Elena's, Dad's. They don't click anymore. They hum, low and steady, like a second heart. The cruiser feels lighter, as if the night has been bled out through the vents. I keep the windows down. The fog is thinning, reluctant to leave. The radio is quiet. Not dead. Quiet in the way a held breath is quiet. I thumb the mic anyway, muscle memory. 2, Adam. 12, 10 to 10, final check. Nothing. Hayes is probably asleep at the console, dreaming of retirement. I let the silence stretch. It feels earned. Curiosity has burned itself out. What's left is a kind of listening. The city exhales. A delivery truck backfires somewhere. A gull screams over the water. Normal sounds, but they land on me like foreign coins. I take the turn onto Calder slow, tires hissing on wet asphalt. The precinct slides past on my left, windows dark except for the lobby's nightlight. The basement is down there, shelves straight again, salt circles swept away by Luis's mop. I wonder if he'll find the reel-to-reel shards and toss them without a second thought. I park in the shadow of the stairwell, the same one I climbed hours ago, the one that swallowed footprints. The exterior door is propped open with a cinder block. Maintenance crew starts at 6 o'clock. I leave the cruiser running, keys in the ignition. Procedure says never, but procedure feels like a language I use to speak. I step out. The air smells of wet concrete and coffee grounds from the dumpster. My boots crunch on gravel that wasn't here yesterday. The stairwell yawns. I descend 1 flight, then stop. The hum in my chest shifts pitch. Warning or welcome, hard to tell. At the landing between floors, the emergency light flickers red. A shadow waits below, tall, broad-shouldered, uniform crisp. The silhouette is mine, but the posture is wrong. Shoulders squared like I'm still 25 and bulletproof. The shadow raises a hand, palm out. Stop. I do. The stairwell smells of gun oil and old sweat. My mag light is in the cruiser. I left it on the seat like an offering. I don't need it. The red glow is enough to see the shadow's face, or where a face should be. Just a smooth oval, like a badge with the number filed off. It speaks with every voice I've heard tonight layered into one. Elena's whisper, Dad's gravel, my own tired baritone. You forgot something. I know what it is before it moves. The shadow reaches into its pocket and pulls out a fourth plastic badge, shiny, new, no engraving. It holds it out. The hum in my chest spikes, painful. I take a step down. The shadow mirrors, ascending. We meet in the middle, 2 steps apart. Close enough to see the uniform is mine, but the duty belt is empty. No cuffs, no Glock, no radio. Just the badge in its hand. Realistic anchor. Every officer signs the duty log when they clock out. The sheet lives on the watch commander's desk, carbon copies in triplicate. Mine is blank for tonight. I never initialed off. The shadow knows. It flips the blank badge. On the back, in fresh Sharpie, Ramirez, final call. Fear is gone. What's left is gravity, the slow pull of something finishing. I reach for the badge. Our fingers brush. Mine warm. It's cold as the river. The contact is a spark. Memory floods. Dad teaching me to ride a bike in the precinct lot. Elena's crayon drawing. The Polaroid fading to white. Tommy Ruiz stepping off the roof that wasn't there. All of it collapses into the plastic star between us. The shadow speaks again, softer. Shifts over kid. Dad's phrase. The one he used every morning when he tucked me in after his own graveyard. The badge is warm now, pulsing in sync with the 3 on my chest. I pin it beside them. 4 stars, a perfect line. The hum stops. The stairwell brightens, sunrise leaking through the high slit window, painting the concrete gold. Revelation is simple. The shadow isn't a ghost. It's the space I was supposed to leave behind. The version of me that clocks out clean and goes home to sleep. I've been carrying the night too long. It finally caught up. The shadow nods once, turns, and descends. Its boots make no sound. At the basement door it pauses, looks back. The oval face has eyes now. Mine, but older, calmer. It smiles the way I haven't since the academy. Then it steps through the door and is gone. I climb. The cruiser is still running, radio silent. I slide in, kill the engine. The keys are cold. I pocket them. The duty log is waiting upstairs, but I don't go inside. Instead, I walk the perimeter, slow, counting heartbeats. The fog is lifting in patches. I can see the river glinting. A janitor's cart rattles somewhere. Normal life, resuming. I think some crimes were never meant to be solved. Some shifts never truly end. They just hand the baton. I unpin the 4 badges, lay them on the passenger seat in a neat row. The cruiser smells of brine and coffee and something like forgiveness. I leave the door unlocked. The sun breaches the skyline, a thin blade of light slicing the precinct's shadow. I step into it. My own shadow stretches long behind me, crisp, solitary. No extra silhouettes. No whispers. Just the sound of gulls and distant traffic and the soft click of a door I finally closed. The cruiser sits empty, engine ticking itself cool. Papers in the back, citation book, cold case printouts, the burrito wrapper, flutter in the breeze through the open window. The 4 plastic badges catch the first real sunlight in hours, throwing tiny rainbows across the dash. One by one, the colors fade until the stars are just cheap plastic again, edges worn smooth by small hands long gone. Outside, the city wakes. A baker flips his open sign. A jogger nods at the precinct flag, snapping at half-mast for someone else's hero. The river keeps moving, indifferent. In the basement, the reel-to-reel is gone. Luis swept the shards into a dustpan and dumped them without a word. The salt circle left a faint ring on the concrete, already drying to white dust. Upstairs, Hayes finds the duty log still blank.